This is the year 2015, and this is our last episode this season before the great holidays. And I have a present for you, my dear viewers. There is nothing better than introduce this next rising star leader in our community school district, Ken Turnis, the principal of Lucas Elementary School. Welcome back home, sir.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You were born in Iowa, state of Iowa, and
Yes.
now after a long trip everywhere, you came back home.
I'm back home.
And,
Yes.
Your smile will be our present, our present for
Thank you.
our viewers.
And it comes at no cost. It's a free gift, if we're going to call it that.
So do you smile a lot with your kids in school?
All the time. Yeah. I'd say probably 95% of the time. And that reflects on staff as well. We're a very happy bunch.
Ken, tell us, tell our viewers, that's your camera there, tell our viewers your story from the beginning.
Ah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I am a native Iowan. Grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. Got my undergrad here at the University of Iowa. Started out with some business courses, switched over to education, and absolutely loved it.
From money to no money.
From money to no money. Yeah. From happy to greatly happy. So I thoroughly enjoyed immediately being in education, the coursework, immediately working with classmates, which a lot of them became colleagues in the future. Upon graduating, I did move to Des Moines, Iowa. Loved Des Moines, and it was pretty quickly on with substitute teaching. I was approached to open a daycare center. The challenge was there wasn't plans or was nothing in place at that point. So it was a neat opportunity. So working with quite a few other people who really were the brains behind it. We did design a daycare. We built it from the ground up. And I was able to be a director of that daycare for a couple of years. I was missing the idea of teaching. So when I saw an ad one day in the paper and it said Bay Area teaching jobs, and my first thought was, Bay Area? I wonder what bay they're referencing.
You want to go boating and fishing?
I wasn't sure. I thought the bay. So to stay up on questions that were being used, and I thought, we better go to this interview process.
Are you surfing too?
I'm not that brave. I have some creativity, some bravery, but I ended up getting offered a job. So I moved out to California, to San Francisco, the East Bay of San Francisco. That was the Bay, San Francisco. And ended up commuting to Tracy, California, in the San Joaquin Valley. It's quite different in temperature and atmosphere, but people everywhere are the same. So I greatly enjoyed that experience teaching middle school, taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I always felt like I was the kind of the go-to guy. We need a reading teacher. We need a talented and gifted teacher. We need some additional assistance for an 8th grade group with some English skills. So I felt like I was the old jack of all trades.
So you did it all, huh?
I don't know if I'd say was the master of them all, perhaps jack of all trades, master of none, but boy, we did push students. It was my first experience teaching, so for me, it really helped kind of get my feet wet and learn how to be a wonderful colleague and teacher for the kiddos. So I did that for 3 years. I got on every committee I possibly could, took various components of coursework to help support my teaching and support the middle school. And after 3 years, quite honestly, Hani, I felt like a draw that it was time. It was time to get back to Iowa. Johnston, Iowa offered me a job after a couple interviews, and I wasn't sure what the role would be. They said they wanted me, and I heard fourth grade, I heard middle school. So I did land in fourth grade. I was fortunate to teach fourth grade for 3 years in Johnston. Just absolutely loved it. You're not supposed to have favorites, but there's something about that fourth grade level that I greatly enjoyed. And continued taking classes through Drake. Earned my master's in education leadership. I got on all the committees I could. People kept asking me to come back, so I thought that was good news. That's probably okay. And ended up getting my feet wet in a sense with administration as an assistant principal.
In Des Moines?
In Des Moines, yeah, in Johnston schools. And I did that for some time. My wife and I had 3 little boys during the course of so many years. And one night we were talking about when's the next step? So when do you go for that principal job? And we had an agreement. We decided, let's get all 3 of our little boys in school. And for whatever reason, we thought we've decided. And then that was the route we took. Our youngest Cooper started school this fall, so that allowed me in the spring to start looking for an administrative job. Iowa City was a natural draw for me, being from Dubuque and having my undergrad completed here. So still gives me goosebumps that I was offered the job here, and it was a quick relocation. It was a mid-July offer, and it's amazing in life how you have the right attitude, and boy, I tell you, things really come together nicely. And our support system and folks here and in Johnston, we're able to get moved. And I think one of my favorite things is that not only did my wife and children move here very quickly, but we were able to have all 3 of my boys start school at Penn Elementary on day 1. We're just a little concerned some of that transitioning. So, and here we are. It's been wonderful.
You give us a very wonderful synopsis of your professional as well as personal life. How about your hobbies?
Very good.
You look to me like an artist, a performer. There is something about you that's not the rigid kind of nervous person in front of the camera.
I'm glad to say that, honey. I'm trying very hard to get my kids, and my wife already enjoys the outdoors. So when it comes to camping and fishing and hiking and just exploring, that's one of my favorite things to do.
You love nature.
I do, even if it's just, let's get in the truck, let's find some gravel roads and see what we can see on any given night. So my wife loves those kinds of activities. My boys were working on it. When people say your kids are different from one another, I'm amazed how different kiddos can be. So we have the sports enthusiast, followed by the artist / gymnast, and our 5-year-old. He just likes to elbow in and find his space wherever he can.
So all the extracurricular activities are happening in
their hobbies are becoming my hobbies. Yes, absolutely.
Ken, it's a delight to have you, of course, in the family of Iowa School Community District. And how do you see Lucas now and in the near future?
Very good. Lucas, from day 1, when I went over and kind of knocking on doors, trying to get in, I'm the new principal, the secretary's off for that week, and and the custodian let me in, Scott. And right away, Scott was just all smiles and just wonderful. And I got to meet additional folks who were working on the building even that first day. So those are my first memories, and it was only a few months ago, but they're lasting because I'm finding that attitude, that openness, that embrace of people coming through that front door, it continues, across the spectrum of every teacher that we have. And I notice our students as well with the good mornings. So Lucas has been in a very good place. It continues to be in a good position. I see if we can just, and I message this to staff, I try to, that if we can keep coming together as a team, as a group, really coalesce around the positive, we're going to go far. And I say we as in our actions and our teaching and how it's not a trickle down to the kids, it's immediate. So our students who are coming in every day, immediate impact, our attitude, our smile, our embrace of each one of them and where they're at in their learning, understanding backgrounds, inviting the parents and just really embracing that whole child.
One of the cliche questions that probably all interviewers ask is the following. As an administrator, do you miss teaching?
I would say that some of the day-to-day, the depth that you get to know students, that might be the one piece that would pull at me a bit. But in theory, as an administrator, a real opportunity for all of us is that each and every day, again, in theory, we should be able to be out and about in classrooms, hallways, common areas, recess. All of us, everyone's busy, but it's a wonderful opportunity that I can't even put the amount of value on, that we can be out and about still. I still teach. We still cover classrooms. We still, whether it's a sub that's running late or, sometimes emergencies come up midday and we might have someone leave, but we all at Lucas jump in and assist when it comes to that coverage. Whether it's me who is out, and I say teaching in quotes because I'm not of the caliber of the teachers that we have at Lucas, but I do my best to support them when I'm in their room covering. I was just teaching flamingo tag during PE the other day. I think it went rather well. The kids seemed to have fun.
Well, Lucas is one of the historic schools in this district, It's not a very modern building, but I think you renovated there, right?
We do. We have renovations coming next year, and we're hoping that the day after school's out that we can really get started on it. A lot of schools don't have 100% air conditioning, right. And it's kind of what it is, but our goal, of course, is we want comfortable learners and educators. And Lucas is taking a great step next year with geothermal and having air conditioning put in for 100% of the building. Safety, we're getting sprinklers set up throughout the building. Lighting, even switching over to more energy efficient LED lighting, which will be wonderful. Security, looking at the entrance of the building. We're doing some major changes with the location of our art room and the office. They're basically going to flip-flop. So when individuals enter the building, when you're buzzed in, you immediately are funneled into the office, which we like, because then we can greet with a smile and continue building relationships with those people. Other items, we have, you're right, it's an older building. We have some windows that with our geothermal hookup, we want to replace the windows and get some double pane and some of our built-ins as well in the classrooms for shelving. Make sure that we maintain our nurse office, which will still be connected to our main office. Heating, there's a few heating adjustments as well that are going to take place. And some windows at the front of the building. So the office space, we have not only a more open feel to that space, but also to be able to have eyes to the front of the school. Supervision of students who are coming and going.
And talk to me about your collaboration with parents. I mean, are parents really involved in life in school? They are
Yes, very much.
supportive.
And every time we get a phone call, I always try to tell parents, and I have for years, just thank you, thank you, thank you for the call. Whether it's a clarification or just a quick question, we really want to encourage parents to please continually make contact with the school. And not just contact. We don't just want people coming in messaging or emails or phone calls. We want people physically in the building. Whether it's volunteers, whether it's assisting with field trips. At Lucas, we're fortunate. We have a beautiful prairie on our campus. We have a wonderful garden that produces well. Our PTO is, I very much appreciate past PTOs. Everyone has their strengths and such. But I've noticed at PTO, it's very much a family feel, very supportive. A push this year by our PTO has been, how do we continue to get more individuals, more families invited to the school? They're wonderful. They had a meeting at the start of the year and invited parents in, and we held it in our multi-purpose room, and it was a great opportunity.
When I was doing this production preparation, I used to go to school and work with the kids and attend projects, but I wanted this time to focus on you as a new leader in our community, as a person.
Oh, sure.
And then next time when you come to us, we'll talk about projects
very good.
and all
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And but when I was calling your secretary after a myriad of attempts from my
Oh,
side.
yes, thank you for being patient. Yeah.
Eventually she said, you know what? She said, Doctor, we are a busy school. And that was, I said, what? She said, we are a busy school. It means like our principal is really occupied. And I said, is there a meeting with the staff? No, with the student. Okay, call up in 15 minutes. I called again 15 minutes, and she said, he's with another student. I called after 1 hour, and she said, he's another student. And he didn't interrupt this meeting. And I was impressed, although I was, like turned off by the fact that nobody is talking to me.
Sure.
So eventually, she told me how busy you are with the kids. You really like to participate and share with them their experience and all that.
Oh, yes. Thanks for being patient
So
too.
but you make it a priority because your team at least convey this impression.
Well, in visibility, folks talk about visibility and being seen around the school and making time to be seen in classrooms and common areas. And one thing I've learned being at Lucas, the staff fully embrace visibility, that our students are all of our students. That it's just not my classroom, it's my classroom. That the attitude in hallways and in meeting and greeting students in the morning, departure, parent drop-off, smiles, knowing kids' first names, which has been amazing as well, how our staff do so well knowing all the students' names. And I naturally kind of fit right in with that too, which is great. You're right, my preference is I'd much rather be out and about with the kids and those relationships. We have a lot of fun. but yet we have the structure in place too. So we know the academics need to be completed. We know that we need to monitor individual growth. We know we need to push students, not just academics, socially, behaviorally, taking more worldview, drilling down to community as well, and just how do we support those students in that manner. And that'd be pretty hard to do if, as educators, if we all just confined ourselves to our little rooms.
When it comes to your career as an educator and later as an administrator, was there a role model in your life that you looked up to? Is there a person that you really try to emulate as far as your experience goes?
Good. You know, and that's, I've thought about that often, and I was fortunate that my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Ament, first name was Mike, we didn't call him that of course, but Mike Ament, that if we had a Where Are They Now, I'd love to track him down because he made a great impression on me. My memories of that experience were that the room felt, his classroom always felt very open.
That was in Dubuque?
In Dubuque, yes, Kennedy Elementary School. But his attitude too, when I picture him, I picture, you know, he had, this is going back a few decades, but you know, he had the big bushy mustache and the glasses.
He should be a good guy.
And, he's a great guy.
Who
Yes,
has a bushy
absolutely.
is a good guy.
And I just picture that pen behind his ear and a big smile on his face. And it was one of those things because I think we all would agree, children are great. They can see someone's true colors. I think
Mike
they
Peterson has a bushy mustache too. So look at him.
Oh, very good.
Chief director.
Yeah, well, that is good. I don't know if I could pull that off. I was told that No Shave November is something that exists recently. I hadn't heard of that till Iowa City, but
yeah.
I thought I better fall short
We
of
will go beyond November and prior to November.
Yeah, well, it's...
Well, then now I have about like, let us say 3-4 minutes. Is there any message you want to convey to the community?
Sure.
Is there anything in your mind you want to say to parents? From your heart, from your mind? How is that?
The logical part of me, and I shared this recently with some parents, when you look at Monday through Friday, the waking minutes of your child, your little boy, your little girl, hopefully the majority of those are at school. So we have an enormous responsibility as a school, enormous. And we absolutely need to partner up with our parents. So I would encourage moms, dads, guardians, continue communicating with your school, asking questions, volunteering. PTO. PTO is a great way to get started in school. You can volunteer if it's just attending a meeting and offering your advice. And everyone has expert advice. We're parents, we're community members. But sharing those thoughts, you can take it as far as you want from there as well with participation. But we need you. We certainly need our parents. We need that support. We need that partnership. So I would encourage you, speaking as a principal, I always tell people, stop in. As a parent, I try to balance both of those hats on my head at the same time. But make those visits to school if you're able to. Set up times to meet with your principal, to meet with the teacher, just to talk. Going to the principal's office does not have to be a bad thing. That can be just a wonderful opportunity for you to engage in conversations, to go a little deeper.
And sometimes through the conversation, parents can find role to play.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
say, oh, I can help with
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
I have some experience in that.
Well, parents are experts.
Now, around your kitchen table, your kids, each one of them has a special inclination and special aspirations. One is in art and one is in sports and all that. So as a principal, when you go back to your office, do you treat all these extracurricular things or curricular things on equal basis? I mean, are you? I know that some principals, focus more on sports rather than arts. Some are a little inclined more to music. But now that you have the three judges meeting you at the table in the evening, and
no, very good. Well, and extracurricular, we get many times we get very caught up in the academic piece and assessments, which there's value to convergence of data and making decisions. But the extracurricular, there is, but the extracurricular, I mean, there's stuff that brings the deeper joy to any one of us, even as adults. I think we always need to embrace those things. What a great outlet.
It's good that each activity has a representative at your home.
Yeah, we're covered. Now, if I can just get one, I just need one to take up fishing, so I can get out
fishing.
and do some fishing. But so far, I get kind of
maybe the new baby.
Don't start that kind of a rumor up. There's no babies. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, never say never. Well, as a matter of fact, it has been a delight, and you made us smile, and I can see Mike smiling and John smiling in the control
the guys
room.
behind the window, they know what they're
those
doing.
guys, we have been doing this for many, many years, and these two guys have been doing it for 22 years. Can you believe that?
I believe it. They're professionals.
They are so devoted and dedicated, and when John Karoff came up with the idea, it was just a flash idea, and it continued for 22 years.
Great.
So, Ken, you will come back.
Oh, certainly.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you will see us again. And
That'd
we
be
welcome
wonderful.
you here. We need a lot of leaders like you with your vigor and rigor and youth and all this powerful enthusiasm that emits from the spark in your eye.
Thank you,
So
honey. And I appreciate you getting a lot of this messaging out to people then too.
And come back again.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can definitely enjoy mid-December in Iowa City. Beautiful weather. And we are on channel 18, cable channel 18, channel 21 education channel, on YouTube in 24 hours from now. And we are on Public Access TV. Thanks to Public Access TV for all the help, for offering us the beautiful studio and the beautiful ambience to produce our program for 22 years. Thank you,
That's
Ken.
fantastic. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it.
Thank you, our viewers, for your listening and attention. Good night.